right? So very simple. After install them, you have to check whether it's installed or successfully or not. I already installed that. Okay, so you have to type cmd, you have to type node space v, the version also displayed, right? It is installed successfully. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to create the nodejs project. So first I'm going to get to the D drive. You can select whatever drive you need. Okay, you will be able to select the drive. Okay, I'm going to create the new folder, file new folder, node projects. Right, here we have create the project. So we have to type cmd. Here you have to type the, if you have create the new project on nodejs, you have to type npm init, press enter key. Here this command what does is it will be creating the package.js. That is a simple package. This package consists of the packages, all the packages, right? All the relevant, it asks the package name. If you like, you will be able to give the version, all the things you can give. If you don't like, you just press enter key. Okay, I no need to, at the moment I no need to fill this form. I just press enter key. Right, here this is the package.json, right? The package.json. Just press enter key here as well. Yes, right. Now you will be able to see here. Now your package.json, the file has been created. Node project has been created here, the package.json, right? So now what I'm going to do is here I'm going to create the project, right? You have to create the project. Right, now this project I'm going to open up the VS Code editor. You have to type cmd command code space dot. Right, now here other things I'm going to off. Only we have to keep the above our new project only, right? This is our package.json. You will be able to see. Now here you can see only these are the packages there. Nothing's there, only this package is there, right? Now you have to install another thing is you have to install node project. You have to install the npm install. You have to install the relevant libraries. So first we have to install the library which is a express, which is a server on nodejs. Okay, it is a backend. It will communicate the front end. It will be communicated with the database Mongoose. So first I am going to download the respective dependencies. Go to, if you download the node packages, you have to type the command npm. After that you have to type the name of the command. So I am going to write down the server, so you have to write npm express. So here the express, click on this one. It goes to the respective website. Here you no need to type, you just here this is a copy. You just click on here, get the copy and paste it over here. What happened? It didn't copy it. Copied. Press enter key. You have to wait until the dependency installation is completed. After complete these dependencies, after that you have to go back. You have to find another dependencies Mongoose, which is a database. This is the MongoDB, right? So you have to download the respective dependencies. The dependency installation successfully completed. Now I am going to go to install the another one is a Mongoose. So here this one Mongoose, click on here, back here, paste it, press enter key on your keyboard. You have to wait until the package gets installed. After that, the Mongoose installation successfully. That's it. Now let's back to our project. Here the Express installation successfully, so that we have to get the version. Mongoose is still installing. Okay, it's installing. After completed, you can get these packages as well. Right. Now here, after install the Express, you will getting the node module, so all the packages will be there. Right. That's why it takes some time to install. Okay. Here this one accessible for Mongoose, all the databases, database configuration, all the dependencies should be reside on this folder, which is a Mongoose package. So this package need to be installed. Now the Mongoose installation successfully. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to go to the package.json. You can see here the dependencies to new dependencies. You can see here, right? It installation successfully in a package.json. First I am going to create the file which is a server.js. Here we have all the database and configuration, all things we are doing in the server.js, right? Okay. Now I am going to go to do the another thing is we haven't if you are not installed the MongoDB, you have to install the MongoDB server, right? So MongoDB, which is a database. Okay. While you installing the nodejs, there will be the checkbox which is a MongoDB compress. Okay, you have to check on and install. You will be able to get the MongoDB compass. Here, if you go to the, if you type MongoDB compass, you will be able to open it. Here we will be able to create the database and all the things. Not wait, it's opening, right? It's open up. Here there is some troubleshooting. Here if you are connect, now it will be connected. If there is any issues of the connection, there is some fix. Okay, so there is one troubleshooting. You go to the service. There is a MongoDB service. Okay. All the database, there will be the service. Okay, so here, if the connection is not started, you can search here the service, the MongoDB here, the MongoDB start. If you are not started, you can click this one. I already started also, we no need to click. So here start, click start, it will be started, right? Then you will be able, the connection will be there. Now here I am going to create a new database. Click here. I am going to create the database as ABC, right? ABC, this is a database. Here collection, I am going to create the collection as student, right? So the collection which is a database, the database which name is database, collection which is a table, right? Click database. Now your database and table has been created successfully. Here database name is ABC, collection is a student. That's the only thing we need, right? Perfect. Now this schema, all things we are setting to our model view architecture, nodejs, right? Perfect. Right. Now let's back to our, so this is the one, right? Now first what I am going to do is here server. First I am going to implement the here first you have to npm express, sorry, we have to, it is all the how to import the models. Here it will be explained it. After install the express, how to implement the express. You just copy these two things, you have to put into your server. Here you have to call the express, required express library, you have to call the express library, you have to use it here. This is how you have to use it. After that you have to use a Mongoose. How to make the Mongoose connection also it will be done. Here this is a Mongoose connection required, right? So copy it, you have to paste it over here below. That's the thing you have to write. After that what you are going to do is, after that I am going to write the connection. So connection, you have to write the connection. So connection, and we have to write the routes and all. So first of all, I am going to write the connection. So connection, we have to specify the port and all, right? So you have to, instead of writing, it takes too much time, you just copy paste it. So how to write is this one, I am to explain. So here you have to write like this. First you have to write app dot listen. You have to listen the port first. Port, what is the port? You can give any port. So if I am going to give the port here as 992. This is the port I am going to set it, right? This how you have to write. So you have to write a separate function. Function check. Here to write error. There's an error, right? You have to write here. We have to check whether it's error or not. You have to write like this, error or not. You have to write like this. If error, that console dot log error. Not this one, you have to import here. Else started. Right, else started, right? Here we are, right, else started, right? That's the thing we have to write. So here we have to write function, right? So we have to write like this, okay? So now what I am going to do is this is simple function you have created. This function, how to write it inside here, you just copy this one, this function, comma, you have to paste it out. This stuff you have to write here. Simple, right? Simple, you have to write like this. This is the logic you have to follow it. Okay, right? Simple logic you have to follow it, right? Perfect. After that, what you are going to do is we have to get another one, which is a Mongo's connectivity, right? So Mongo's connectivity, let's check before go to the Mongo's connectivity whether the port is working or not. Right here the port is working or not. Here let's use the port working or not. Right now let's check. Right now let's file save. So how to run the node application? You have to go to the down. This is your application. How to run the application? So you have to your project. Just save all. I have created wrongly. This is server.js. You just cut off this one. You have to paste it. I have wrongly created inside the node modules. You have to create it outside the node module. You just copy and paste it outside. Okay, I wrongly created. Right, it's pasted. Okay, yes, I am wrongly created that one. You have to create it inside here. Okay, it's wrongly created. Right, accidentally create inside the node modules. Don't create inside the node modules. Outside the node module you have to create. Right, right. Now let's save. That's why it won't show up over here. Now it's shown up. Now you go and run it. CMD. You type node server.js. Right, your port is successfully working if it is started. Right, we don't have a problem with the port. Now let's implement the database connection. We have to establish the database connection. Right, database connection we have to write like this. I just copy this one. I'll be explaining. Paste it over here. Right, database connection. We have already implemented the library. We have to call it here required Mongo's. Here this is the object. But connect Mongo's. This is the database connectivity. Right, while we connect to the MongoDB, this is the connectivity. Right, this is the here localhost. This is the connectivity. You have to put it here. Your database name. What is the name we have created? ABC, which is the database name. You have to use a pass through. This one also true. You have to make this one as true. Right. This also same thing. Earlier what I did it. We have to close it over here. And we have to comma and we have to paste this function, error function. The same function you have to do. Right. That's the thing you have to do. This is how we have to create the database connection. Now the database connection we have to work or not, we have to check it. Right. Now let's check both. Save all. You make save all, then only it will be work. Now let's test that. Again here. Now I'm going to again up the server. Type the command node server.js. The port is started. Here it will be telling the warning of the MongoDB. This warning we will be simply, we have to fix that. So we have to pass these dependencies. Mongo set strict query false. Okay. While connect with the MongoDB and Express, there will be the if there are any issues, it will be strict query, we have to false. You have to set like this, the problem will be fixed. Sorry, not this. The problem will be solved. Now let's again here to up the server. Control C to this one, you have to up the server. Here it will be successfully connected. Perfect. It connected perfectly well. Right? It's connected perfectly well. Now let's close it. Now it's connected perfectly well. Right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to do the first on the user registration part. So this is my folder. Inside the folder I'm going to create the folder which is the routes. Right? After that we have to create another folder which is src. Inside the src folder I am going to create another folder which is a sorry, this is not a folder, this is, we are delete them. You have to create the folder. This is a folder, new folder. src. Inside the src folder, we have to create another new folder which is a student. In the student folder, we have to create another file which is a student model. After that, we have to create another one is a student controller. After that, another one which is a student service. We needed 3 packages, right? This is how we have created the model view architecture. So first what I am going to say, we have first you have to manage with the routes. When the request is coming via the route. So what I am doing here is you have to go to the routes here. So let's I will be explaining, don't worry. Right here, right. I paste the code inside the route. Okay. So the routes, you can see that we have created the folder which is the routes, right? So this is a route folder, right? So here we have to, instead of create the routes like this, you have to create a separate folder which is the routes. Right. This routes folder, there's a folder, the student folder, right? Yes, here, not inside the student folder. Here, you have to create a folder, new folder, routes. So already this folder is exists. So where's the folder? Refresh it. This file I am going to cut off. You have to create the new folder route. Inside the folder I am going to paste this file. Right. Okay, you have to create a separate file folder route. Okay. Inside the route we have to paste this file. Right. Okay. Now here inside the route we have file routes.js. Route.js we have the same express what I did here, the same express we have to call it here. After that we have to give the path where your controller is resided. My controller is resided inside the src folder student. You have a student controller. So you have to write student src student. This one should be student controller. Right. After that we have to call the routes like this, constant route express router. After when the request is coming, when the URL is coming, /URL create, it goes to the controller, create controller. It goes to the controller, create controller. After that, this route we have to export the outside. So you have to model, export, you have to give the route. It will be this route, you have to export the route outside, right? We have to write the route, you have to write like this, concern route, express, this express, you have to call the route. Okay, then only the route will be working. This is the first thing you have to do it, right? First, you have to come the route. After the route will be calling the which controller? Creates user controller. So go to the, this is student controller, create student, you have to create student controller function. So let's go to the student controller. So student controller, so write this function, right? We have to explain later on this one. So here we have a student, right? So you can see here when the request is coming via the routes /student create, it goes to the Postman student controller, create student action method. This method it's coming here, this method, same method coming here. So you have to request and response, you have to get the request over here, okay? Then you have to send the response. Get the request via the request body, status, avoid, you have to put it this one, right? It is sending to the user service to create your service. Okay, so you have the student service, here user service, so you have to write the student service. Okay, you have to write this one should the, what's in student service, copy it, student service. Okay, so here also you have to write the student service, you have to call the student service. Okay, you have to call the student service. Student service also you have to create student DB service, student DB service. Okay, it's called the student DB service. So student service you have to create here as here also. Now this is one should be the our student service. Student, let me change this one also, required student model, right? So the service will be communicate with the model, right? First route will be communicate the controller, controller will be communicate with the service, service will be communicate with the model. Model is the part where we communicate with the database and fetch data from the database and give to the front end. So here second one, key, we have to set the random key here. So here encrypt, simple encryptor. Here this one npm you have to install the dependencies. So go to the Google search or type npm simple encryptor. Click on this link. You have to bring this, you have to get the simple encryptor. Click on this one, you have to install them, that particular dependency. So you have to, this one should be running your project, Control C to stop it here, and again you have to install them, right? This is this dependency we need to encrypt the password security purpose. We have to install these dependencies, right? Perfect. Now what you are going to do is, after done the stuff, we have to model export, create, this one should be the create student DB service, it will be called the student DB service. A student details, you have to write the student details. The student details we are passing via the model, right? So model, okay, student details, right? Student details, you have to write the return new promise. Promise we have two things. So if you are called promise function nodejs, we have a resolve and reject. Okay, if the score, if all the things are correct, it will be resolved. If there is a failure, it will be reject, right? First var, we have to create the student model data new, you have to write student model student model. So your student model data, this one we have to get it here. Student model data, we have to write these things: first name, last name, email, and password. Right? We have to set all things. These all things are in our models. Right? Okay. This one should be our this one. Okay. This student details. Student details, first name, student details, all the things. Right? Okay, so encrypted. This encrypted we have to download it, right? We have to install that, right? Then encrypted successfully, right? Done. Perfect. Okay, so here when you fill the form, all things are you fill on the form. Okay, first name, last name, email, and password. When you type the password, it will be encrypted. So we have to if you have installed this particular dependency, you have to get the dependency. Here you have there will be the predefined method which is a encrypt. Student password only you have to assign here. Okay, you have to give the password. It will be encrypted. Okay. After that, you have to the student model, student data, this student data model. We have to save it. This is save it over here. Right? Function. It will be saved here. That is the only thing we have to do it. Perfect. If there are any problem, it will be rejected. If all things are success, it will be resolved and true. After that, this one model. So here user model, right? So here this one you have to student model. We have to create model student model. So just right click. We have to create student model .js. So here student model .js. You have to write like this. Right, student schema. So student schema you have to write, copy this one, you have to paste it over here. Your student schema as first name, last name, email, and pass. These all things are we have in our database fields. Right, we have to create a student schema here. The student schema you have to export it. Right, only this thing you have to do it. Perfect. This is the only thing you have to do it. Now here we have to, it's not working, we have to, this student service also we have to export it outside. So controller service, right? So service also we have to already output. Okay, so here now let's test it whether it's working fine or not. Let's save all. If you are not to install the Postman for the checking part, you have to install that. This is must, Postman. Okay, we have all the RESTful APIs, we have to check on the Postman. Now here where you have checked the post request. So first you have to specify the port. What is the port your server is running? This is the port where your server is running. This is the port where the request is coming, student create. Right, so the body, first name, last name, email, and password you have to give it like this. Okay, it's some JSON format. You have to write like this in the Postman. Right. So let's. I haven't run the server yet. So you have to run the server node server.js. Right, both connect successfully. If I click send button, there's issues. Can't post student create. What's the problem? Right, the problem will be what's the problem? Let's back to our project. Right, the problem is the routes. We didn't call the routes. That's the problem. Right, we have to didn't call the routes. Routes also we have didn't call. That's the problem. Okay, the routes we didn't call it in the server. So we have to call the routes. That is must. So you have to write the routes. Where routes is where your route is resided. So I'll give the routes in the server. The server file is running. You have to mention your routes is where it resided. Routes required routes folder. Inside the routes folder, we have a routes file is there. Right. So after that, what you are going to do is here. You have to import this routes. So you have to give the routes over here. Call the routes over here. Save all. Now let's back over here. Control C to save. Control C to what's the problem? here there will be the error. You have to find the error like this. Route post require the callback but not the object undefined. The problem is here. What is the problem here is callback in object undefined mean we didn't export it. That's the problem. So we have to export outside. So controller here model export. Whatever done, you have to export it. Right. So we have to copy this one. I have to paste it over here. You have to log in function we have to create later on. Only create control S to save. After that, what I'm going to do is we have to get the error over here. Student service, user service. Okay, here we have to get the error. We have to change this one as a this is the path of your service is resided. This path you have to give this variable. This variable will pass it here. Right, status student service is goes to the method service create student DB. Okay, it goes to that particular method. Right. So student DB method DB service. So it resides around the service. Right. Go to service. You click on this service. Where's this service here? Okay, it goes to here. Right, it goes like this. Right, so here the same model here paste it over here. Right, that's the only thing you have to do it. So go back to our service. Here we have to implement the JSON, then only it will be working. So here JSON, this that use it app use express JSON, this express, okay, dot JSON. Then you have to save all. Now let's run the project again. Now it's working. There's no error. Now I'm going to execute the code. So I'm going to John Ram at gmail.com password. Click. Now you can see here the user created successfully, the record added successfully, right? Now what I'm going to do is, after done the stuff, now let's back to our login section. We have to do the login section. So we have to do the first time, go to routes. You have to implement the router user login. This one we have to get it here. Routes over here, right? So you have to write student login. If the request is coming student login, it goes to the student controller login action method. Okay, so where's the student controller? Here's the student controller. We have to write this login action method. So we have to call the student action method. So you have to write this one. Right, login controller student action method, right? So student login control you have to import. Here you have to export it outside, right? So login controller request and response request. You have to user service. So login DB get the request. So here we have to this user service. This is not a user service. This is a student service. You have to create the function login service, right? So you have to validate the function. So here we have to create another function which is a login. Okay, login function. Right, this simple function you have to create. This function what does is here, you get them over here. We have to this model. We have to check all the username and password. Coming there, this one should be the student model. Student model data is coming from the student model. Let's check the email ID. If the email ID is match or not. This one should be the student detail. Student detail. It will be check whether your email ID is correct or not. Right? If email IDs not exist, it will be rejected. If the email IDs exist, it go if the username and password is correct. Okay, first you have to decrypt the password. You have to use the encrypted decrypt, return what is password you have written, and you have to check it. The user details is matched with this one. student details match with this password. If it is match, student validated, otherwise student validated failed. Right, that's the thing we have to write here. Okay, that's the thing you have to write it. So here this is student graded, right? That's the thing you have to write over here. Okay, the simple stuff. Student validated successfully. Right, now let's check. Control S to save all and check. Again you have to run the application. Control C to close, run the application again. You have to check with the login. When the request is coming, student login, post request, click send button, student validated successfully. It's working perfectly well. If it is a username and password wrong, it is a validated file. The correct username and password is correct, it is working. Now your backend is finished.
Hi, today I am going to teach about the front end part, which is a React. We already completed the backend part nodejs. So here first we have to install the React in your computer. So here if you communicate with the front end and backend, you have to put your project name. So then the exercise, so here this is my backend, right? Here you have to put your project name over here. Inside the project name you have to create two different folders, which is one is a backend, another one is a front end. You have to make the professional way look like this. So here I'm going to give the folder here, that is a React front end. So here, right? So you have to do like this, React front end, React front, right? Here I am going to install my front end application React. So how to install the React? You have to type by the command cmd, go to Google and type React get started. React get started. Now you select get started, right? Here click on the install create new app. So here this one, create a new React app. So you have to, this is how we have created the new app. So you have to, this command you have just copy it, this command, Control C to copy. Go to your folder, this one your folder, here where you have created your project of front end. Type the address bar on cmd. You have to get the command from top here, right click, and you have to paste them. Here you have to give the name of your app. So front end. I give the name as front end. The first enter key on your keyboard. You have to wait until the process completed. Now here React app installation is completed. Now here the front end is created. Now you have go inside the folder. You have to type the cd front end. Press the enter key. You go inside this folder. I'm going to open this for the folder structure in my VS Code. How to open it? You have to type the command code space dot. Now the entire project will be open on the VS Code editor. Right. Now you can see the entire project has been open onto the VS Code editor. Right, class project. Right. Now here all the folder structure will be open on your VS Code editor. Now here This is a SRC folder. Inside the SRC folder, you can see the app.js component, right? These are called as component, right? This is a component, right? Now you can see here inside the public.html, index.html. This is the our single page application. Here it's called as a root. It's loading the root. Okay, so here the root loading. So it goes to the index.js. Index.js, here it will be calling the root. Here this element, it loading the app. Where which app it will be loading? This one, app.js. This is how the programming will be work. Right. Now what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to do the thing is, I'm going to go to install the first package. The first step I'm going to create the routes. Route is important stuff. Okay, if you are going to the registration page, home page and login. So first I'm going to go to create 3 different components. So you have to understand the routes now. Go to the SRC folder, right click. Here I'm going to create the new folder which is a components. You have to create the components folder. Components. Right. Inside the components folder, right click new. I'm going to create the 3 different files. First is the home page, home.jsx. Okay, you can type JS also, but in React extension you have to write like this, JSX. Then only you can see the React logo. Okay, after that, second component I'm going to type here as registration. You type user registration or register the register component .jsx. This is the extension. Third one I'm going to write login component. So login.jsx. Right. We created 3 different components: home component, login component, as well as a register component. Right. First, after that, what you are going to do is, here I'm going to go into the app.js. Here I'm going to create the routes. So routes, so how to create the routes? You have to go to the Google, you have to type npm router. Okay, it goes to the npm package. Okay, here this is the code. You don't type this all the things. Okay, if you are leaving the spelling mistake, it won't install. You just copy and paste it. Okay, so go here. This is your project folder. Okay, the project folder. Don't install here. Okay, you have to install inside the project folder. Whatever package you have downloaded, you have to download. You have to install inside the component. Then only it should work. Now here type npm I react DOM. Press enter key. You have to wait until the installation completed. It installing. Right. Your React DOM is installed successfully. Now what I'm going to do is, inside the package you will be able to add the routes. So back to our page. So here, this all things. This is the React welcome page. I'm going to remove all the things. Whatever written over here, we have to remove it. Now if you want to see the home page, now h1 your test, your type test, and how to run the save all, how to run the React application. Once you install, you have to tell them npm start. You have to write npm start. Otherwise you can start with npm run start. Okay, npm start. You have to type. Now your React app is configuring and loading. You have to wait until that process completed. Now you can see the test has been printed successfully. Whatever you have to do it here, right? Now that this is not error, the logo have removed the React logo, so we have to remove this all the things. Now we don't need them. Let's save all and check. Now that error go away. Now you can see the error go away. Now it will display. Okay, right. Now here we are. I'm going to write the routes. Right. Okay. Now first you have to write the routes. So first what I'm going to do is, right, how to write the routes. First I'm going to go here, inside here. First you have to write it here. Import browser. This all the package is coming from the here router down. Here it's a router down. If you are not installed the router down package, you can't access this component, this components, right? So after the routes, this package has these are all the things, this package is available. Routes, you have to accessible from this package. After routes, okay. After that only we have to get them. We have to call them, right? Inside the div tag, you have to write this browser route. Browser route. Open bracket and close bracket. Inside here, you have to write routes. Open and close bracket. After that, we have to write another thing is a router path. You have to give the path. So you write router, you have to write like this. Router slash router path slash home element within the bracket, you have to write here like this. Here, before we have to write give the element, here we have to, this all the pages are blank. So in this page, I'm going to write this, all things are copied, paste it to home page. Instead of app, what is the name here? Home. Here home, it export outside home, right? Inside the div, we don't need this one. You have to write h1 tag or any tag, h1 tag home, right? Same thing, copy, paste the login component as well. This is a login. Here also log. So here you have to press F2 key on your keyboard instead of changing like this. F2. Okay, if you have a laptop, Fn, press F, hold on the Fn key down and press F2 key. You will be able to get it. Now here, if you change here, press enter key, everywhere change. Register also. Sorry. This all thing Control C to copy, Control V to paste over here. Here also, click here, F1, hold on the F1 key down, and click F2. Here you have to select register, press enter key, it all things change. You have to change here as register. Right, perfect. Now let's save all the components, 3 components you have created successfully, different components. Now you have to access the pages. If you type the home component, you have to write element. There is another field element. If you type the URL like this slash home, it goes to the component which is a home component. You have to write a component like this home. So home components there. You have to click on this one. The component imported successfully. Here we are, you have to close the component like this. That's it. That's the thing you have to write. Same thing, another one is instead of writing each time, you copy and paste it. This is standard way you have to do it. Second is a register. If the request is coming register like this, it's going to the register component. You have to type register, press enter key here. Path has been automatically imported. Okay. Copy and paste it. Here we have to write another one is which is a login. When the request is coming login, here login. When the page is open, it's go to the login page. Okay, that is a way I have to do it. Login page. So right. So you have to write slash. The slash. Then when the page is open, it's called the login page. So login. Right. Perfect. So login. So sorry. You write login over here. If you type this, you write like this. But copy and paste it. It won't export it. You have to write like this. Login. Press enter key on your keyboard. Then only the component will be imported. Okay. Right. So here, these are all the things are successful. Done. Right. So here, right. Perfect. Simple routes. This is how we have a routes works. Now let's check whether it's worked the fine or not. So let's back to the URL. Here login is working. If you have the register, if it is a home, it goes to home. successfully the route is working. Now the route is working successfully. Now I'm going to go to the register page. I'm going to design the register page. Perfect. How to design the register page? Simply I have already registered, page is there. I will be explaining, okay, without wasting the time. Simply I have this simple page, I just copy and paste it. I will be explaining, don't worry about that one. Right? If I do it step by step, it will be written. It take too much of time to complete this project. That's why I just copy and paste it. Right? Now I'll be explaining. Code format document. Right. Perfect. Right. Now what I'm going to do is, you can see here, we start that here, this all the things also React. This is the plain HTML file. Okay, this is a plain HTML file. Okay, the plain HTML file, there's a div tag. It has a div tag. Inside the div tag, we need only one div tag. We don't need the one, right? Inside div tag, we have tried the div class Bootstrap, which is a class empty mp4, right? Sorry, one thing I have forgot the things, which is that I forgot to implement the Bootstrap style. So where I'm going to implement the Bootstrap style, you have to go to the public folder index.html. This is our single main application. So here inside that add tag, we have to implement that. So how to implement that one? You have to go to the respective website, which is a Bootstrap website. So for Bootstrap, you type Bootstrap. Okay, Bootstrap, press enter key. This is a get Bootstrap. Click on this one. It goes to the respective website over here, right? So here you have to go under the topic include via CDN. Here you can see the link and script. This is for CSS. This is for JavaScript. I need this one for CSS only. Here you just copy the clipboard. Clipboard copied successfully. Now you back to your project. You paste inside the attack. Control V only. Okay. So here paste it. Now after paste, you just go to file, save all. Okay, you have to save all. This thing you must do it. Right. After done the stuff, now let's back to our register page again. Now this all are Bootstrap. This is a Bootstrap class container empty4. Okay, right. After that, you have to write a class card. You have to write a class card. Okay, you have an idea about what is how the cards work in Bootstrap. Okay, if you don't have any idea about what's a card, you just go to the Google it and you have to type the Google Bootstrap card. Now you can get the result, how the cards look like. So this is the card look like. Here, this is a simple card look like. Okay, right? If you like, you can put on your project. Otherwise, you can remove it. Okay, that is your wish. Right. Now inside the card, we have to write the heading, which is a student registration. This is the H1 tag. Okay, H1 is a heading tag. Okay, it's called as heading tag. It is nothing but a heading tag. Okay, right. This is a form. The form tag is nothing but a form tag. This form is started. Okay, form is closing. Right. After that, you can see this div tag, 2 div tags is started. This 3 div tags is there. You must close it below. These 3 things. Whatever div tag you are started, you must close it. Okay. Okay. Some other students are doing, once you started, they are not closing. Okay. Once the project is ended, they are going to close each div tag. And it takes too much of time to complete the project. Okay. You are struggling at that time. Okay. Once you start the div tag, you must close it. That's a professional way to do the project. Right. Okay. Inside the form, you have 4 fields. Okay. It consists of 4 form fields. One is the first name, second one is the last name, third one is the email, fourth one is the password, right? But first name, okay, here it's a label first name. It has a input field. Input field type as text. This is a class which is a Bootstrap form controller. control, sorry, form control, right? ID I given as f name. Okay, the first name I return the short name. I return the short format as f name. Here, placeholder, which is an enter name. Enter name you write as instead of the enter name, you write enter first name. Right. Value if name. Okay, value have the same thing. On change event, you write set if name. Like this one, I will be explain in few minutes. Okay, right. This is the things which is coming from our. This is the simple stuff we are coming to our React. Okay, this React application. Okay, on change. Okay, what is this method does? All things I will explain it in few minutes. Wait. This all the things you have to you get your mind. This all the things are your same HTML. The same thing here, the last name as well. Okay, I no need to explain again. Like the last name. Here also value on click method. This one I will be explaining it. After the email field, the type here the last name you have to the type as text, but this is email. Okay, the in Bootstrap there should be the validation automatically. So if you are not type on the text box without a email format, okay, without a email format, it getting error. So that they are implemented the Bootstrap, they are implemented here type email. Okay, we no need to check any validation part. It automatically error should be displayed. This is not your email format, right? So here you have to type email. Like this standard. Here ID, the same thing. This is also email. So write email. Enter name now, email. Placeholder. Out of that password, this is a password. Here password also the Bootstrap implemented as a type password. It automatically Bootstrap recognize as this one should this field as a password. It automatically understands this field is a password. Right? Very simple. Right? This is small design. After that, and finally, we have written the simple button, the submit button. We have written the Bootstrap primary, his style we have given. It has a one on-click method. Right, that's it. Button is open and close it, your form tag. And finally, we are closing. Very simple code. A very simple code. Right. Inside the return, we have paste this code. This is all the HTML is working. Right. Inside the function, this function, we have written our logic. Okay. Inside the return only, we have HTML is working. Inside the function, about the return, we have a function. Inside the function, we have write our logic, programming logic. Right. Now I'm going to communicate with the APIs. API requests. API requests where coming from? In my backend. So what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to install another dependencies, which is a Axios. So here type npm Axios. This is a dependency we have to communicate with the. It will be successfully communicate with the RESTful API. Okay, so here simple. npm I stands for install. It's a short form of I. Okay, copied back to my project. Sorry, back to my. This is my project directory. You have to open the cmd, paste the command, press enter key. This dependency get installed. This the front end framework and they are implemented the npm packages dependencies. All the dependencies they are implemented one dependency. If you are calling the RESTful API, they are invent one dependency. And if it is a if you are install the Bootstrap also, they are invented one package. Okay, this is very simple. Right. Perfect. Right, now what I'm going to do is, after installation successfully, we have to import the package. Okay, this namespace. So this is the namespace you have to import them. I'll be explaining it, so don't worry. Import Axios This is coming from after install. You have to use this package, right? This is the user state, use state from this is coming from React. Okay, it will be after install the React, it will be already available in the React package. You don't worry about that, right? After done stuff in the registration form, we have to simply, I will explain, don't worry. Okay, now you can see we have to create this should be the function component. We are doing the project as a function component. We have do React project in two different ways, class component or with function component, but function component is a very famous one. So here we have to write the function component. How to write the function component? First you have to write, we have to maintain with the state which called as user state. Okay, so if you here this now I coming to this line, now you will be understand, right? This line you will be able to understand here. Value f name on change event set f name. Okay, whatever value you are type on this particular text field, what's the name you are type on this particular text field, what happen is this name should be stored here. Okay, this set f name. Okay, set f name passing here. The same thing, whatever thing you are type on this text field, which text field, last name text field. So here value you are set it here. It will be set this function, this state. Okay, after the email address and password. Okay, if you are not implemented these lines, value on change and event. Okay, the value should be changed. Okay, then only it will be stored in the state. The values are stored as a state in React. Whatever value you type on the particular text field, it is that particular value store as a state. Okay, in React. Okay, so here also the same. Email also the same. Whatever email you are type, the particular text field is stored as a on change event. This function it will be stored and get them over here and pass it. It maintain with the state. All things we have maintained the state. That's it. That's the thing we have to do. Right. After that, we have one on-click method we have written inside the button. So on-click, save. When you click the save button, it goes to the save function. What is save function we have written over here, right? It go and click here. Here we have tried the event. Okay, here event prevent default. What is mean by that? This is if you are you're already aware of Java and C# all this. They are the method which is called as action event. Okay, the same action event in React. Here we have written event prevent default. If you are not called this one, if when you click the button, nothing will be happen. So that we have tried this one. You have put it this assign. So you have write avoid. Okay. After that you have write the try and catch block. This is important stuff. Okay. Try and catch. When the errors come, what kind of error, we easily understand the error of the display inside the catch block. Right. Try block. What I did here is first avoid Axios post. This is the request which will be we have already discussed about our backend application through Postman. Okay, this is the request where we create the records. So you have to go along this port. You have to go to the port. Okay, right. This is the route. Your routing. Okay, student create. So here you can see this all the things we have to show in the same thing in our Postman. Postman, what our thing is this called as our database fields. Okay, database schema. What is schema? You are type on your schema all the stuff you have done in our nodejs. If you are not, you have forgot that one. The same name you can check it. This is the same name you are type on the schema, first name, last name. This is called as student model. Okay, this is student model.js. You just go and check with this the same name or you are type different name. If you have different name, it will be error, getting error. It's the same name, you check it. This is a database field. This is also the form field. Form field's name here. first name, I'm going to set the what's the ID here. You have to leave it as F name. Here, L name, email, and password. This is a database field. The database field we have set it the form fields. Okay, right? So when you type on the particular text fields data, when you click that button, this all the data should be coming to set it over here, right? And go to this. It goes to here, this API, and add their account into the database. After done the stuff, student registration successfully. That is simple stuff we have done over here. Very simple. This is a simple stuff, right? If you have written this one, it take too much of time to complete that. That's why I have just copy and paste it. Don't worry, this is all the source code I provide you. Now let's save all. Now let's save all. Now what I'm going to do is, let's run the project and check whether it's working fine or not. Back to our React here. I'm going to type register, press enter key. Here it's successfully went to register page. Okay, here this is the card. It's called as card. Okay, the border is called as card, right? This form surrounded as a border, which is called as a card. Okay, this is student registration. It consists of 4 different text fields, right? Now let's test it whether the data is added into the database or not. So first name I'm going to John, last name Peter, email john@gmail.com. Okay. Password you have type whatever password. I just give us 123. Click save button. Here student registration successfully. Student registration successfully done. Perfect. Right. Okay. Now the request is successfully done. If you can check it, impact, if you get any error, right click and impact, go to the console tab, you can check with the error. What is the error? When you click the save button, getting error, you will be checking what kind of error on the console tab. Okay, console tab. It easily you can find the error, you can solve out the error. Okay, right. Now, after done the registration part, you have to go to the login. Okay, the login model. Right. Right. Now, what you're going to do is, after that, you have to right. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go to login component. Inside the login component, what you're going to do is, I'm going to paste this code. This simple code. Okay. This code consists of simple fields. Okay. So here, right. You can see here. Now let's right click and format document. Right. Now you can see here, div started and div close it. This is the heading. This class, div class container, which is a bootstrap style. So bootstrap has row. So row. After that, we have written the heading, which is a logging. This is called as a heading h1 tag. After the hr tag, which is called as a underline. Okay, under the login we have a small underline, so we have to write hr tag. After that, we have to write the another row. We have called as this div is started here and close it here. After that, we have to write another div. Okay, inside the div we have to call it as a column small 6. Okay, we have to mention the size over here. Whatever size you need, you have to mention the size over here. Okay, after that, inside here you have written a small form. This form consists of email address and password and 2 fields. Right now you have an idea. This is a small HTML file. Okay, the type email, class which is a bootstrap, ID, placeholder, enter email. These all the things I already explained. But why we have called this one? Okay, this is React. Okay, this we have to maintain with the state in React. We have to write this function. on change, right? The same thing, the password as well. Okay, I no need to explain more. This all the things I already explained in my form registration part. So here also we have one button which is a login, submit login button. Okay, login. We name it as login. It has one on-click method login. Right, that's it. Okay, that is the design part we have done successfully. Now let's go to the programming logic. So logic we have to update over here. Go back to right. Right, this is all the things we already installed the Axios package. The same thing, I just this user effect we don't need, we are not using at the moment. Let's get rid of this one. Let's copy this one back to our application over here. You have to paste it. Sorry, not here. You paste it above the function. Okay, these are all the things, right? Okay, this is use statement. But now here, login. I'm going to paste. I will be explaining. Don't worry. Copy and paste it. Now let's format the document, right? Okay, perfect. Right, now here you can see, here also you can see the states. You have create the state, why we create the state already we have discussed. In React, the value, whatever value you type on the particular text field, okay, that value should be stored as a state. Okay, if you type the email on this particular email text field, it will be stored as a state. So it will be stored in this function, set email function. This function passing the email over here, it maintained as a state. Okay, the same thing as a password as well. After that, we have to create another things function you have to call as, you have to create the another object you have to call as navigate. So navigate also we have to the navigate also, if you are installed the React router DOM, this package then use navigator component is there. So we have to get it and use it. Concept navigate. Okay, navigate, right? You have to use this object navigate. After that, what I'm going to do is here inside we have to create the one function login. Okay, once you enter the email along with the password, click login button. It goes to the function which is a login function. Okay, this is a one-click method, event prevent default. You can type the write the try and catch block. Here you write avoid. Here this is a post request for the login. You have to add the respective APIs. This API already we have discussed about our backend, which is nodejs. Okay, this is the login API. So here this one should be the email and password. This is the database field, database schema. Okay, this is a database schema. Okay, here you have 10. These values are coming from your form. This is form values. Okay, whatever values you are set it here, it's coming here, email and password. You have to just say email and password. You have to here then, you have to write dot then. You have to get the data. Okay, get the data. You can check through the console whether the data is successfully displayed or not. If you enter the username and password, after that you have to check it. Okay, data. You have to put in the value of data. Get this data. This res dot data. You have to check it. If the data dot status, okay, data dot status equal true mean login successfully. After login successfully, it navigate to it moving to the home page. If the login fail, it display the error messages login fail. Okay, that's it. If there is any issues with any code issues, it goes to the fail method and display the error. That's it. That's a simple stuff you have to do it here. Now let's save all things. Let's check whether it's working fine or not. Before that, go to the home page. Okay, home is there, right? All things are done. Now let's check it. So right here, login. Here, right here, login is completed successfully. Now let's write the different login and password. click here login file. Okay, now let's create the register the login user again. I'm going to register the login user Raja Steve. Email Raja at gmail.com. Password, I give one password. Okay, keep remember this user email and password, then only you will be able to log in. Click save. Right now let's back to our user. You have to go to the home page. Now you have type Raja at gmail.com. Password, what's your password you are given, you type here, click login. Login successfully. Click here, it goes to the home page. Here your backend, one thing I forgot to tell that your backend is working here in the backend. Here I'm going to go to the server.js. Here you have to change the port as this is for the our React. So React is working 3000 port. You have to set it the post over here. Okay, 3000. Then it works for perfect. That's the thing you have to do it. Right? 3000. Save all. Again you have to start the server, nodejs server. Okay, once you change this anything in the backend, Control C to stop your backend, and you have to type node server.js again. That's the thing you have to write. Thank you for watching. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Thank you.